Alrighty guys, we're back for Izzet Aggro, and this is a Through the Omenpaths standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. So we got like all 4 Slickshot Show-Offs in here, we got all 4 Emberheart Challengers, we got all 4 Stormchaser's Talent, and all 4 Elusive Otters too. So this is very much Izzet Prowess. Which of course we're kind of counting Slickshot Show-Off as like a prowess style ability right now. That's not a lot of creatures packed in, so we're going to be protecting them with Secret Identity and Magic Damper as well. So Secret Identity here is a 1 blue mana, instant speed, choose one you can conceal. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a citizen with base power toughness 1/1 and gains hexproof. Nice. You can reveal. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a hero with base power and toughness 3/4 and gains flying and vigilance. Holy cow, dude. Every time I read reveal, like they didn't have to give it vigilance too, right? Like, yeah, pretty good protection spell. And the bottom ability helps you get around, like nowhere to run and stuff too, which is really cool. Not the only new card packed in, we actually have Firebrained Scheme in here as well. So you get to choose one. It's sorcery speed, which slows it down a bit. So exile the top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them until end of turn. Until the end of your next turn, that's important, you may play that card. Or you can choose the bottom ability, 1 or 2 target creatures each get +1/+0 and gain first strike until end of turn. Nice, and that's in the similar vein as Opera Love Song here too. All 4 of them making the cut. Both of these cards helping us see more off the top, and Emberheart Challenger helping us see more off the top as well. We have a 1 of Enter the Enigma. Target creature can't be blocked this turn, then it just replaces itself. That's kind of excellent. We got some burn packed in with Burst Lightning, and we have some tempo packed in with Bounce Off. And every now and then we'll count Bounce Off as protection for our creatures, where we can go ahead and bounce like a Slickshot Show-Off back to our hand after the opponent targets it, and then maybe try again next turn with it. We do have a Callous Sell-Sword as a 1 of in here for the burn together side of things. Every now and then it's going to be fantastic to throw a big old chunky Slickshot Show-Off to the opponent's face, or big old chunky anything at that point too, since all of our creatures have prowess. Not worried about the Callous Sell-Sword side of things, although it is possible to actually cast it in here thanks to Starting Town and maybe Multiversal Passage. But don't play Multiversal Passage and call Swamp just so you can play a Callous Sell-Sword. That would be more of like a late game thing, and you have an extra passage laying around or something, right? That's a similar concept for the adventure side on the Elusive Otter too. Yeah, the Starting Town can help you cast it, but don't even worry about it, you know what I mean? Every now and then, maybe in that late game, you'll call green on the Multiversal Passage and then use the adventure too. So yeah, kind of a splash. 4-color aggro? No, it isn't. So, some honorable mentions. Dive Down is a card I considered over Magic Damper. It's a similar concept to helping us get around that nowhere to run, but Secret Identity is already in here as a 4 of. So, yeah, just a protection spell of your choice would matter, and I wanted to bring up Dive Down. A Fool Boar almost made the cut. Astrologian's Planisphere is a really neat one that could have made the cut. It's a little too slow for what I'm going for in here, and that's the same concept with Vivi as well. I really am trying to just push the aggro through, and I know Vivi can be aggressive, but I don't know, man. We're just trying to do something different with some Spellslingers, you know? So Coruscation Mage is one to consider for sure. Great budget trade-in, honestly, for a deck list like this. And then this new Storm Spinner could have been pretty cool in here as well. Not this time around. I would say if I had even more boost spells, then maybe. Okay, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. Heck yeah, we do. What am I expecting from the build? A lot. I think it's going to be fantastic, man. So, send help? No, yeah, I think it's going to be good. We'll see. Beautiful. Beautiful starting hand. Now, we should have 20 mana in here. I totally forgot to check before diving into this first game. Opponent, did you just mulligan 3 times over? Opponent, don't leave. I love my hand. Please. Please stick around, buddy. Oh, no. Hey, the opponent's here. Oh, man. Come on down, Elusive Otter. Green source. Alright. We just set up our creatures. Totally fine. Firebrain Scheme is really good next turn. Secret Identity and Bounce Off would be open. I'm sad, guys. I'm sad. The opponent had to mulligan down to 4, and... well, they didn't have to mulligan down to 4, but you guys know what I mean. We don't know what their hand actually looked like. Alright, we'll go ahead and put that up as a test hand. It looked pretty good, right? It looked like a good hand. Looked like it was going to be able to push a huge chunk of damage through, and pretty much anything we were up against, there was a good chance of us actually having some protection. If we weren't up against that forest, you guys saw me like look at the forest a few times while I was contemplating, we probably would have saved the Challenger for turn 3, so we still had the open protection spell. But it was just a forest, so I went for the creature being established. Alright, we give it a shot. 3 mana in our opener is all the mana we need for the rest of the game. So no more land game. No, the 4th can really come in handy too, especially once you start seeing like Opera Love Song and multiple 2-drops too. Coming down, Elusive Otter. Look at us, guys. It's like the last game, but just a little bit of a worse hand. Oh, especially against Rakdos. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Okay. Okay, well, we don't have protection to keep open, so we still go for the established creature, just like the last game, but in normal scenario, we would want to keep that protection open, go for turn 3 Challenger. Oh, wow, guys, we might get to keep these creatures around. They pass it on back. Secret Identity. Wow, dude. Holy cow. Right, so we can go Verge, worry about the passage next turn. We want all 3 of our cards open. And we'll see what we see off the top with the Challenger ability here. This is Sorcery Speed. You want to do it before combat, of course. Now, they got a great chump blocker as well, so... still, the Elusive Otter gets through. They're going to be chump blocking the Challenger. For sure. Or maybe they want to keep the Skittering Kitten for some mayhem next turn. Wow, Slickshot Show-Off, guys. I mean, I really don't want to lose my creatures, but there's no way we don't use that extra card off the Challenger, right? Yeah, that's crazy. They do go for the chump. Let's see what they end up discarding then. Could be Reanimator. They go ahead, pop the Skittering Kitten. It is. It's Reanimator, guys. We gotta definitely get this damage through before Velgavoth comes down, and it's probably not going to happen if they got removal this turn. So if it's just a chump blocker, that's a different ball game because we go Bounce Off. Yeah, next turn Zombify on a Velgavoth puts the nail in the coffin. Let's see what they end up doing here. If they pass it back. Ooh, they pass it back. Okay, we want all 3 of these, which we have on the board already. So, I mean, Multiversal Passage can come down tapped. Do we need... well, we don't know. Well, with the target on the Challenger, if we go Secret Identity, we could find more off the top, too. So I guess number 1, we start with the Bounce Off then, right? We still have blue open from Starting Town. No, I'll just pay the 2... right now, make sure I don't mess up if we go for Secret Identity onto Challenger to see more. Get rid of the chump blocker. Full boost. I'm telling you guys, we gotta win this turn. because Zombify on turn 4 happens, I don't know. It's so it's gotta be like maybe 4 out of 5, right? Like when they miss, it's very surprising. So like we have to push all the damage now. Still have the protection. We're going to go for the Burst Lightning. And I guess we don't go for on the Challenger. We go for the swing because we got lethal on the board. I'm on the edge of my seat, opponent. There's the Bitter Triumph, and we go for Hexproof. Boost, boost, boost. Then now we're talking, man. Now we're talking, huh? Secret identity. Can we play with 8 of those? No, unfortunately. But you can play with 8 protection spells for that matter. It doesn't have to be secret identity. Yep, that would have been a really tough battle for any deck list to go up against this for sure, right? Because that was, they had 3 turns, dude. That's it. That's fast. There's nothing else to say about it. Let's keep the ball rolling. Feeling good. I'm still expecting a lot from the deck list, but if we lose the rest of them today, like, that's fine. We totally showcased exactly what the deck list is trying to do and what it will do, so. Good hand. Again, no protection here. We could consider more protection, guys. We could. A little held up. We don't actually have our turn 1. Held up on the Verge for now. That's okay. We'll play the Mountain, give the opponent the least amount of information, and we're going to be very patient with that Firebrain scheme, especially when we have Challenger in hand. Cryogen, that would be Synthesizer builds or Esper Pixie builds. Is the blue, but now we can just play the Verge successfully too. No, we want Canal because we could still see another Canal off the top, and we don't want to get punished late game for those. So Show-Off. Could swing for 1 if we don't expect Perilous Snare. If we expect Perilous Snare, it's better to plot up the Show-Off and try to go that way. Same concept with the Challenger. Yeah, I think we can just successfully swing and skip the Perilous Snare. Don't even worry about it. Establish the Show-Off over the Challenger for the turn because the Show-Off has a higher explosive value next turn. Synthesizer, nice. So we ended up poking 1 extra damage through instead of being afraid and going for the plot. If you knew it was a Perilous Snare, then I guess you plotted up, right? But I don't know, I was feeling pretty good there. And then also, if the opponent doesn't feel in danger, then establishing Synthesizer before the Perilous Snare is much better. So now with our turn, we have Verge, Challenger, Firebrain Scheme, which is a good chunk of damage, but we probably want to push even more through with the Show-Off while we have it. So, like, Stormchaser's talent's really good, isn't it? Wow. With going wide, Show-Off is definitely the one they pick up first of all. So if we just try to find more to play with the Firebrain Scheme too. So we start with Firebrain Scheme. Exile 2, choose 1. Boost the Show-Off. Alright, Burst Lightning. Now we're talking, huh? Choose that one to play. And then it's too bad that this Otter doesn't have haste, but boy, that would be disgusting, huh? Yep, so we play this to maximize Slickshot Show-Off damage in the air. It's kind of like I said, no matter what, if we would have went wide with the creatures, the Show-Off was going to be the target for their removal. Good damage. Really, really good damage. But anyone's game. Synthesizer knows how to pull games back easily. Perilous Snare for the Show-Off, yep. They get the little robot on the ground. It's a 4/4 for now. Okay, we do find more mana, not the greatest. So Otter could get underneath the constructs, but the constructs are probably going to continue to grow. If we establish wide and they go second Synthesizer, or second Perilous Snare would be pretty bad too to establish wide. Level 2 on the Stormchaser's talent could bring back a Burst Lightning. That's not really enough, is it? Second opponent, I'm thinking, buddy. Yeah, with Perilous Snare on time, we're definitely in an uphill battle. Establishing the creatures don't swing, try to see more off the Opera Love Song next turn is probably the best case for us. And what that means, guys, I should have just played the Canal tapped. So we'll see if that 5th mana actually matters next turn. Hopefully not. Yeah, instead I kept the 1 mana open, which would matter if we had like protection in hand, but we don't. Repurposing Bay and Pinnacle Starcage pretty much takes us out of this game as Starcage hits everything on the board. We'll still go for seeing cards off the top with the Opera Love Song, but we're probably not going to be able to push the rest of that damage through. Wow. Slickshot Show-Off is a very good draw, though, guys. If we can survive next turn, which I suppose is unlikely because Repurposing Bay can grab them Fire Crystal, and if they got the 5th mana, they can just play a 3-drop then Fire Crystal. Don't worry about the Perilous Snare. I mean, just the toughest of tough decisions, guys. Yeah, if we plot up, we could potentially win next turn depending on the draw. But we could also die next turn pretty easily. I say, since we're close to out of this no matter what, we go for the risky play. The risky play that could actually win us the game if the opponent doesn't have lethal here. That makes the most sense to me. What about you guys? Yeah, if they don't have the 5th and they don't have a 3-mana card to pop with the Repurposing Bay, they don't really want to pop the Perilous Snare to grab a Fire Crystal, because then we get the Slickshot Show-Off back. At the very least, we could chump one of the chunky things. It's going to be Cryogen Relic. Now, here's the question, guys. Do we go Opera Love Song for the +2? No, we go Opera Love Song to see more off the top ability. So we do this at the end of their turn. Got some good card draw here. They go ahead, grab a second Synthesizer, likely. Oh, Braided Net. Good grab, opponent. Well played. Yeah, that taps down the Show-Off before the swing, guys. And actually very close to lethal damage on the board state. As a matter of fact, we could totally give them lethal damage with the Opera Love Song, but I'm still going to play it out. Because we could see a second Slickshot Show-Off. They can only tap one of them. It would actually be our 3rd Show-Off, so that would be pretty lucky, but we're about to see 2 off the top anyways. Yeah. Yeah, the Braided Net is a card I just was not thinking they were going to grab that at all. I guess one of the reasons was I wasn't expecting them to play a 2-mana card. I was really just focused on Fire Crystal. Okay, looks like the damage is finally coming through. Down to 4. Get their speed. Wait till the very end. Here we go. Exile the top 2 cards. Play them until our next end step. Secret Identity. That hexproof actually helps us get around. Actually, Magic Damper hexproof helps us get around. Wow. Wow, guys. Wait a minute. Slickshot Show-Off, first of all. 6th mana. If we had 7 mana, we'd go level 2. Grab a Burst Lightning. But with only the 5, it's just going to be the Magic Damper. Even this untaps it. We could let them tap it down, then we untap it anyways. But we'll still use it as the hexproof. Crazy stuff. So no matter what, we'll win on the back, or the opponent will win on the backswing. So we're actually just going to play this. Pay the 2. Then grab the Burst Lightning, which doesn't do anything. We're just playing it out to its fullest, right? It doesn't actually do anything for this turn, but still really neat. And the difference between 4 life and 2 life doesn't really matter, so the passage still makes the most sense. So here comes the hexproof. Get the boost, that's a 4. So close, guys, so close. Wow. Firebrained, I guess. Yeah, with 1 mana open anyways. Secret Identity does the same amount of damage. I guess we could give it Vigilance beforehand, right? And go for the swing that way too. Good stuff, man. Wow. Yeah, we know how to push that damage, huh? I mean, up against a full-blown synthesizer package and Burst Lightning just chilling in hand. I'll tell you what. This could have gone either way for real. Actually, if the card that we saw off the top with the Opera Love Song was anything other than the land, there's a real chance that the Slickshot Show-Off would have just won that turn, right? Crazy stuff. We got a lot of power packed in. I'm excited for more games. Let's keep the ball rolling. Guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, guys, if you liked the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. If you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Callous Sell-Sword would have been pretty good in that last one, huh? All right, we keep this easily. Do the Canal Dance for some luck. Come on down, Elusive Otter. No worries here, guys, no worries. What's a little life gain? Don't worry, we have all 4 Nemesis packed in, right? Right? Somebody put the Nemesis in the deck list, right, guys? No Nemesis, so it's going to be an uphill battle, but I'm not worried. Can establish the creature, save the Burst Lightning, but a little bit of life gain on the Sanctifier is enough to be a little concerned, so we are going to go ahead and peer off the top here first. A little bit of extra prowess. That's until the end of our next turn. Probably Opera Love Song then. Alright, goodbye Sanctifier. A lot of good targets for the Burst Lightning, like when they actually play their turn 2 bat and everything, but I think this is fine too. Alright, Essence Channeler, turn 2 bat. Maybe I should have saved it, right? Because they did have it right on time. Now, Callous Sell-Sword does help us clean it a little bit. We could go for the swing, see if they accept any blocks. We could Opera Love Song, C2 off the top, find more burn, or a bounce spell. We can only play this until the end anyways, so we might as well. And then these will also be until the end, so I shouldn't have played the land, but we do find the Burst Lightning, so see, we did get a little punished because I got hasty with the land, but well, no, we didn't, because we would have needed the dual land open, so that worked out, actually. But sometimes you will get punished there. Goodbye, Channeler. Get a swing. Yeah, if this was a red source, then we would have been punished by that play. In that order. Leonin Vanguard. Ruin Lurker Bat. Nice. This Slickshot Show-Off is good, but there's not a lot else to do in the hand, so probably go Challenger instead. They're going to start getting that life gain back this turn with the swing. So a full swing down to 3. They gain 2 off the bat. Vanguard probably gains them 2. They're probably gaining 4, and if we don't save a blocker, you know what? A blocker in the air makes more sense to me here. So let's establish that Slickshot Show-Off. A really good draw. Saving the Callous Sell-Sword for the end, but yeah, just 2 blockers kept back. Let's see if they find the Sheltered by Ghost. Ruin Lurker Bat number 2. one card remaining in the opponent's hand. It is going to be the Sheltered by Ghosts. Pick up the Slickshot Show-Off, I would say. No, they're going to take the Elusive Otter here. They back up to 16. We have the Great Block in the air. No, they decide to hold it back. They go back up to 20. Bad news, for sure, for sure. If they missed the Sheltered by Ghosts, we would have had an amazing lineup that held back all of their swings. Unfortunately, this is heavily leaning towards the opponent for sure. Now the Callous Sell-Sword would have been able to pick up the Vanguard, but we would have been sacrificing the Slickshot Show-Off, which is the only way to block the Ruin Lurker bats in the air. Now, not necessarily. We have the Secret Identity, but we would have had to pay 2 for the ward. We wouldn't have had that open. Would have gotten these 3 in the air, gaining 4, but Elusive Otter would be back on the board. So, Secret Identity, maybe we can get some good blocks next turn. Wow, second Leyline comes down. Scary business. Go for the swing, opponent. Go for the swing. Back up to 23. Go for the swing. Yeah. No. Opponent, go for the swing. No. Completely played around it. Good play, opponent. Good play. All right. Fourth mana. Again, we can get that Elusive Otter back at 23, guys. And next turn, they're going up to 25 thanks to the Vanguard. And then that's one step closer to Leyline. We have to. We should. Number one, I shouldn't have played the Challenger because we're about to see more off the top. Oh, I shouldn't have played the Challenger because we need the ward. Guys, mistakes were made. I think I could have played this one out much better here. Number one, kept Challenger in hand. Good draw from the opponent, first of all. Up to 25 on the swing. They probably want to swing because they're going to gain enough here to boost the whole board state. And see, now we're not going to have enough damage to hit the Leonin unless we boost with the Identity. So block in the air. They go up to 30. Boost on the ground. Only have 3 damage from Show-Off in the Challenger. Oh, geez, guys. Oh, dear. All right. I don't know if... So taking out the Leonin would have been much better last turn. Oh, and the life gain happens first. So actually the Ruin Lurker bats don't die. That's right, guys. Oh, we're just like super dead then. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of ways around this for sure. So Stormchaser's talent's pretty good. Boosts our board state. That's not bad, honestly. So life gain's going to be a tough uphill battle for this style of deck list, pretty much no matter what here. So we're just playing it out for fun. We're out of this. We're seeing what else we could see off the top and everything too. You find some mana, which isn't half bad. We do have like good swing in the air here now. They probably just take the trade. 1, 2. No rest, no mercy, no matter what, says the opponent. Are we doomed? Pretty sure we're doomed. That's my favorite. They do go for the block into the Show-Off, which actually isn't terrible, right? Now we can sacrifice the 5/6 Challenger. Doesn't really matter which Challenger, because this is no longer going to be in the air anyways. We could do this Challenger too. It'll be a 5/5. Yeah, we might as well do the one on the ground then, right? And then we target the Vanguard. We got 2 to pay. Prowess, prowess, prowess. Ward 2, pay the 2. 5 damage, get the Otter back. And they got 10 in the air here still, guys. Wow, look at all those islands. Wow, that's like all the islands in the deck list, guys. Holy cow. They go up to 48. Holy cow, that's a lot. So we have like the 4 mana on the Stormchaser's talent. Firebrain Scheme. Target Challenger. We could target Challenger with the Burst Lightning. What's the most fun thing to do here? Probably Stormchaser's talent. If we grab Secret Identity, we have 1 more block in the air next turn. Keeps us in 1 extra turn. But the most fun thing's probably the Firebrain Scheme. And then give first strike to 2 of these, boost a board state of prowess. Really cool stuff, man. We see Enter the Enigma off of the Challenger. Get him down to 39. So close, guys. So close. Hey, good game, opponent. Good game. Go ahead and let them swing on in here. So double ley line. I guess if they missed the first ley line, then this really could have gone either way. But they had the first ley line for free, which was really good. And that's going to happen often for sure. And if I would have played it out a little better too, if I would have taken out the Leonin on time, right? I completely overlooked the ward for that 1 turn, played the Challenger instead of having to open for the ward. Maybe that could have gone differently. We have a lot of value. I think the deck list is showcasing its value really well here. Guys, let's try one more game. We're 30 minutes in. Win or lose, I'm pretty satisfied, although I do think we can win. I think we can end on a high note pretty easily, actually, so we'll see. All right, we found that game. What you bringing to the table, buddy? That's not a synthesizer build, is it? It's not, right? Good hand. Really good hand, guys. Yep, this is good. The opponent goes first, though. Oh, no. Okay. Starting town. No information from the opponent. So I wonder if the Otter actually survives here. It does. Demolition Field. No information from the opponent. It's going to be clay-fired bricks, right? So is usually the sign of synthesizer, which, we got this, man. We can do this. We can take the turn for setup, but kind of similar to the last time we were up against synthesizer. What are the odds of the Perilous Snare? We probably just push the 2 through this turn, try as explosive of a next turn as possible. We see mana. Callous Sell-Sword could seriously get us there, but there's no guarantee of seeing mana. We know that they have their 3rd, but they also know that they're not in direct danger here, going down to 19 thanks to the life gain on the clay-fired bricks. So I don't think it's going to be Perilous Snare this turn. I think they'd rather establish the synthesizer just like the first synthesizer build that we saw. And then mana off the top, Opera Love Song, Callous Sell-Sword. Is that a lot? That's a lot, right? That's 8 damage. There's the synthesis. Okay, we need untapped mana off the top. Come on, guys. Actually, all the lands in here are untapped mana, I think, for turn 3 at least. 2 to the bottom, untapped mana. Dude, we just go maximum damage no matter what, right? For sure. So with this, we can call blue, pay the 2. Yeah, like we don't even care about anything else here. Maximum damage no matter what. If we had like a Burst Lightning, I think that might be a little better than the Opera Love Song for the turn, but still, this is really good. That's 8 damage on the swing. And then Callous Sell-Sword will get another... Well, we could keep Secret Identity open. It's 9 damage on the swing. I already miscounted. Secret Identity does an extra 2, then 2 from the Show-Off, then 1 from the Otter. So an extra 5. Or we do an extra 7 from the Callous Swing. Or we hold off, keep protection in the air. Down to 9. No, we should just throw it. We should just throw it, right? Totally. So close, guys, so close. Down to 2. 4 Burst Lightnings packed into the deck list. Also, if they only get 1 chump blocker down, we have a hasty creature in hand. Look, that's the 2 from the Clay-Fired Bricks. If you guys have ever doubted the importance of cards entering and actually gaining life, there you go, right? If you've ever doubted the importance of it, they'd be at 0 without that bricks. But also, they paid 1 from the starting town to get the synthesizer down. So, like, if they tap out for Perilous Snare on the Otter, the Challenger does not get through. Oh, it does. It does. The Secret Identity gets it into the air. Perilous Snare. On time. Picks up the Otter. They need mana here. They don't play the mana. That should do it, right? That should do it. Challenger comes down. Secret Identity. Get you into the air, buddy. See extra off the top. If it was mana, that would be good too. Swing in the air. Beautiful. Look at us go, man. Look at us go. Cool stuff. I love Spellslinger deck lists so much. They're so fun, and they're like the best kind of puzzles that your deck list can give you sometimes. You know what I mean? How many cards can I play in a single turn? All of them? Great news, right? Let's do it. Let's play 5 spells from our hand. Now, that being said, there is something to be said about going up some mana in here. 21 mana could totally work, but 20 was fine and dandy, and the deck list was fine enough to not change anything in my mind, so. Now, Firebrain Scheme and Opera Love Song and Challenger are the ways to see extra off the top. Don't forget, Enter the Enigma also replaces itself too, so that's kind of important. At 4 mana, we have like level 2 on the Stormchaser's talent, so that also helps us grab more things back. That's very, very expensive for what the deck list is doing. This is realistically in here just as a 1/1 Prowess Otter, and when you play the talent, you're also boosting all of your other Prowess creatures too. The Burst Lightning, of course, is going to be excellent. Slickshot Show-Off is probably the best creature in this deck list, right? Just because it's the most explosive, and that's what really matters here. Bounce Off is important, getting rid of important chump blockers. Great tempo play, literally all the time, but then also there's going to be moments too. I brought this up at the beginning where this is your protection spell. Right now, our protection looks like Bounce Off, Magic Damper, and Secret Identity, giving us 10 protection spells to protect our 16 total creatures, which is actually just, I guess, well, it says 13 creatures because the Callous Sell-Sword. Don't count Callous Sell-Sword as a creature. It is very much in here as Burn Together, and maybe, very rarely, you'll drop it as a creature off of a starting town or something. Anyway, so it's really just 12 creatures plus the tokens from the talent, but you can totally count the tokens on the talent as your creature. So you got 16 creatures, you got to protect them. More Magic Dampers could be fine. You could go up 2 of these, drop 2 Bounce Offs, so you still have 10 pieces of protection, kind of, sort of, and that protection is much better than just grabbing it back to your hand, right? But it's still not terrible to bounce off a Challenger, see another card off the top, maybe it's a land, you can play the land, recast the Challenger, or just save Challenger for next turn, keep open protection for one of your other creatures instead. There's a lot of different lines here, which is pretty cool. I think the everything about this, it just showcased itself beautifully, didn't it? It really did the thing. I like this one a lot. I love Izzet Spellslingers every time we visit it. I called this Izzet Aggro for a reason. I put aggro in the title because look at all those games. And honestly, tell me, would Vivi have helped us? Maybe, but also you can see why I called it too slow for the deck list, as we're trying to just pop off immediately as fast as possible, which is why I said Slickshot Show-Off is probably the best creature in here. Yeah, maybe in the longer games, Vivi will help you a little bit, right? But this is not the kind of deck list that wants to rock stock up. There we go. That was really hard for me to say for some reason. It's not the type of deck list that wants to play stock up and other things like that. We're not going for the VV combo by any means. That would be way too slow for what we're doing for sure, like Cauldron in here and everything. No. Now we're going Izzet aggro. We're going Spellslingers without VV. And it felt good. It was fun. I liked this a lot. Yep. Guys, what would you rather take out? Let me know down in the comments. Have you been trying out Izzet? Have you guys been playing any tempo builds recently? Is it tempo, maybe? See, I didn't even call it, I called it aggro. I didn't even call it is it tempo because, you know, there's no early counter spells or anything either. And I think if I called it tempo, I think we'd still want at least a couple counters, but then also even more bounce spells too. Yeah. I don't know though. I don't really have much to say about this. I am very, very happy, very pleased. I wouldn't change anything. I'd keep going with this one. And, oh, how about the do not craft list? That's kind of important, right? I think this one's relatively cheap, though. Yeah, there's some rares. Let's see what we got here. Let's do some rearranging. Yeah, there's a chunk of rares so far. There's a healthy chunk of rares. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All the creatures. The most important part of the deck list, all of them are rares. So 16 rares. And then don't get me started on the mana base. Luckily, you can play the mana base in other deck lists too. So not exactly budget friendly. And I guess put it on the do not craft list because, you know, first couple weeks of any new set, you never know where the meta is going to settle. I could say for this one, craft a little less based on your collection. Maybe you only have 2 Elusive Otters. Go ahead and find another 1-drop creature that you have already and trade it in. A 1-drop creature that could work really well in here or something. Maybe you don't have any of the Stormchaser's talent. Maybe you could consider crafting a couple of them, because Stormchaser's talent will make the cut in some other builds too, so that's really tough. Or, you know, maybe you had 3 Emberheart Challengers sitting around. It would not be a terrible one to craft the 4th because, you know, there's going to be plenty of other aggro builds that like Challenger. There's plenty of mono red builds that like Challenger. You know, it's not a terrible craft. And, you know, then as we get to the more important things too, like Slickshot Show-Off, are we going to still see Slickshot Show-Off in other deck lists too? Yeah, maybe. But honestly, I just wouldn't craft anything, man. I would just always base everything on your collection and not even worry about it. And don't even, like, if that's the case too, don't even look at ranked. Just play some normal play mode. Have a good time. Have a fun time playing. Don't worry about losses or anything. I think that's what's most important overall. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think this one belongs on the craft list? Because boy, it was fun. Boy, it was powerful too. And we went right up against some meta as well. I think it could be equally as explosive as a mono green landfall. You know, the opponent's sweating on their turn 3 or they lost on their turn 3. So that's very much what mono green landfall does too with the Tifa and the early Mossborn Hydra as well. Secret Identity's crazy business, man. Keep your eye on this card. Yep, I like this a lot. Really good. All right, now that's everything. Hey. Making it to the end of the video before 45 minutes. Nice. You made it this far in. Y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you. Yeah, I don't want to keep rambling because even though I don't really have much else to say about this, I could probably go for another 5 to 10 minutes talking about it too. So I'm not going to do that. You guys have a discussion in the comments as well. So guys, seriously, thank you for being here and I will see you in the next video.